Happy September 1st, beautiful people. Thank you so much for finding your way to my YouTube channel yet again and visiting me to hear what we're talking about today. Today is day 244 of 365, which means the year is slowly wrapping up, but you still have time to accomplish any goals that you may have had on your goal list, starting out the year, kicking off the summer, wrapping up the summer. It's still a good time to get things done. So with that being said, I wanted to just mention that I specifically launched this video today because I'm trying to decide if I want to do a daily encouragement video, like for 3 minutes or 5 minutes, something quick and short, something that can be plugged in and listened to, and not necessarily sitting down having to watch. So if you all can give me feedback on that, I would really appreciate it. I also just want to say thank you to everyone who went out their way to message me, text me, call me, just in general reach out to tell me like reaction and suggestion and feedback from the first video. I absolutely appreciate it. I also want to say thank you for all the shade that was thrown my way and the harassment about the bug spray. No, I'm kidding. But I really appreciated that everyone understood my heart behind the matter and understood that nothing I say is with ill intent. But it's nice to know that the community watching knows how to laugh and like knows when I'm joking. So that meant a lot to me, and it really made my entire week just funny to see the different messages like, baby girl, I got some bug spray for you. Or I saw that roach and I was just like, I knew it. Like, why didn't I see this? And I also appreciate the people who I didn't even know were messaging me, and I felt like that was so awesome because I want people to be comfortable enough to like just message me. Like, some people say it to say it, but like I will respond to you however you reach out. Like, if I ever not respond, it's probably because I didn't see it. Like, that literally is the only reason I would not reach out or respond. So thank you again for just being a support and encouraging me and just going out your way to be here and just to listen to what I have to say, because you don't have to, and I know that. But today I want to talk about a question that I was asked, and I'm going to try to make this video really quickly just because I want to see if I can do it in 5 minutes. If not, we'll work on that. But the question that I was asked was, in new seasons and new beginnings, like how do you approach them? How do you see a new season for just that, especially when your past seasons haven't been as successful? And so what I did was I looked up the term new. And the definition is not previously used or owned, unfamiliar or strange to someone. So for starters, I want to say that I think that if you're about to approach a new season, it is critical that your mentality changes. It's critical that your perspective changes. Both of them, one and the same, needs to be new. I don't care what has happened in the past. I don't care what has not come through. If you are going to kickstart a new season, you have to decide the past has not worked out or this did not work out. But today, moving forward, I'm going to see that everything happens. And I'm going to understand that, if something doesn't happen, there is a purpose for it. Like, you have to decide that every closed door is not a bad thing, or every door that never opens is not a bad thing. You have to say, you know what? In this season, I will do X, Y, and Z. I will be a better wife. I will be a better mother. I will be a better father. I will be a better friend. Like, that's new. Not, I want to be a better friend, but, shawty or whoever be testing my buttons and like I don't have to, like, no, that's not new. You bringing the old into the new. You're not even ready for a new season when you're doing that. You have to just decide. Also, the unfamiliar or strange to is, I think that it prepares you to know that you're going to see a change in your surroundings if you position yourself as such. So, example, if I wanted to be a better student, my spare time is going to be at school more often than it is at home. And I might see new people, which means I'm going to meet more students who are more like diligent in their studies. I might become more acquainted with professors. That's new surroundings and that's new people, unfamiliar or strange to. In addition, the people that I used to hang out with who may have enabled my habit of being lazy or not a good student are going to see me as some like unfamiliar, like, yo, what's happening? We don't see you anymore. You always at the library. this is different. This is new. This is strange to them. This is going to be strange even in reverse when I have to explain to someone like, yeah, I'm trying to be a better student. This is new, okay? The second point that I want to make is that you want to be ready to be uncomfortable. In Genesis 46, verse 3 and 4, I was reading about Jacob, and God had told him to leave and go to a strange land. And so when I was reading it, I was like, wow, just very briefly, like how a request like that, if I was given that, is my faith in a place where I'm like, okay, Lord, you want me to go to a strange land? Okay, we're going to do this. And right after he made the request, God also told him, like, I will be with you. I will take care of you, which showed me. And I'm not saying this is the only way to receive this word. You can read it and get a different revelation. That God knew right after he made the request what he needed to hear to, like, encourage him. And so it showed me that we serve a God who, he'll set us up for different things in our seasons. And he also knows what is going to cause us to be weary. So if God said, Alicia, dump your bank account out and give all your money to your neighbor, right behind that, he might say, I will take care of your finances. Not because I won't do it, not because I can't do it, but because he knows that that might be an area that makes me uncomfortable. Like, Lord, I don't have a family with a lot of money. If I give all my money away, where will I get money from? So in this new season, when you do go into your prayer closet, or when you're journaling, or you're sitting down thinking about what it is that you want to see, be ready to be uncomfortable. Be ready to say, that might require more of me than I have. That's not to say it's impossible, but be ready to be stretched. Be ready to be made, you have to be ready to be uncomfortable in this new season. Okay? The next point that I want to make is that you should go ahead right now and know that how you feel is not a fact. Whether you feel inadequate or whether you feel like there's nothing for you to learn, it's not true. Like, it's just not true. I want to focus in on the one that feels inadequate, because one of my favorite scriptures to just revisit is when Moses has been asked to speak before the people, and his response to God was like, but God, I don't have eloquent speech. That whole passage it blows my mind, because there's so many things to take from that. Whether it's the relationship between God and Moses, or simply the fact that Moses was very vocal about, hey, I don't talk well. I do not speak well. I have a speech impediment, or there's something wrong with my ability to speak before people. And God made this request to him. And it almost, outside looking in, when you're reading it, you're like, wait a minute, bruh. We ain't asked you what you lacking. He asked you to do this, and your response is, but God, like, no. In this season, if you feel inadequate, take a deep breath and let it go. Whatever you are lacking, trust that God will fill the gap. Trust that God will not assign you to something or give you a desire that he did not see you meeting. So if it's a book you need to write, but you're not a good writer, or you feel like you don't have much to say, okay, God, fill my mouth up with what you want your book to say. If it's, a class, whether it's a job, if you don't have the college credentials, whatever it is that you're lacking, do not focus in on that. Focus in on, okay, God, I need you to help me fill the gap. Give me the diligence to want to study, to get a degree. Give me the discipline to save my money, to get a house. I need your assistance, Lord, with what it is that you've poured into me to have a desire for, okay? So know that your feelings are not facts. And that even when you feel afraid, going back to like Jacob, there was this passage explaining that scripture, and it said, fear is normal. Okay, so let's not be fake on this channel and be like, you're not supposed to be afraid. No. It's an emotion. It's normal. But fear should not paralyze you. And when I read that, I was like, ooh, like, you should not experience stagnant seasons. You can experience quiet seasons. You can experience slow seasons. But to just be stuck, no. It said that when fear paralyzes you, it isn't because of fear. It's because you don't trust God. And so somewhere in between your decision making, you didn't trust that God would bridge the gap. And so you just stayed on your side. You didn't ask him. You didn't invite him in the problem. You didn't say, look, Lord, I need to get over there, and I don't have any way of getting there. You just was like, my little hair hanging out the back. You was just like, okay, guess I'm gonna stay on this side of the grass or this side of the water. No, not in this new season. In this new season, make your plans big, make your goal list out of this world. And then you take some time and you say, God, I really want to do this. I don't know how I'm going to do this. And that's the good thing, because I'm trusting that you will assist me in doing this. But we will not stay on this side. We're going to build slowly. We're going to build a bridge. We're going to get there. Okay? And lastly, I had like 2 more points, but I just want to say, because I think those 3 points are a good starting point and just a good initiator. Trust that whatever God has deposited in you to do, or if you know he's tugged your heart on doing something, trust that he's going to get something done. So with the Moses situation, I read it and I'm watching Moses plead with the Lord, which leads me to even thinking about, what's your posture? My church always asks that, what's your posture? And when I first heard it, I'm like, I'm in church, I'm sitting up. Like, am I supposed to be, do I need to sit up straight? Like, my posture. But the more they ask it, it's like, how are you positioning yourself? Are you in a position where you're ready to receive from God? Did you come in here grateful and trusting and knowing like, oh, my God can, my God will, my God has? Or are you like, I guess he could do it. I think he can. He do it sometimes. What's your posture? Moses' posture when he was conversing with God was, but God, I can't, but God, my inadequacy, but God, you're asking me to do something I really don't want to do because I can't see myself doing it. And God goes back and forth with him in that relationship they have. He goes back and forth with him, and then he says, okay, fine, get your brother to do it. Which, although it was disappointing that he gave it off to someone else, it showed me God's word is true, and whatever he needs to get done will get done. I'm not saying if you don't do it, move out the way, I'm coming through, somebody else is coming through, but it also reiterates and validates the fact that when God says something needs to happen, it's going to happen. We don't serve a God that's accommodating our feelings. So we need to know that our feelings are not facts. We have to say, Lord, the purpose that you've deposited in me is so much bigger than my inadequacies. And so I just need you to constantly remind me that I can do this, that you've given me the task, and that although I don't feel like I can, although my situation doesn't look like I can because you asked me to do this. Okay? So with this season, and I'm sorry if I ramble too long, I will be working on a 3-minute to 5-minute videos. Make your goal list. Change your mentality. Be new. Be ready to present yourself differently to people. And that's okay. New is good. It's not bougie all the time. Sometimes new is literally growth. It's saying, okay, you know what? I see where I can do more. I see what I'm lacking in. It's time to sit down and say, this is what I want for my life. This is what I'm going to be praying over for my life. And this is what I'm trusting God to assist me in reaching. Whether it's this season or next season, I'm going to constantly wake up and say, this is what I'm aiming for. I don't see it all right now. I don't have the supplies right now, but I do know God. I do know that, he can assist me in this. And I'm not sitting here telling you all that every day is going to be easy. Everything on that list is going to get scratched off. But it is a process. It's a waking up every day deciding, Lord, I trust you. I'm going to choose to be positive instead of negative. I'm going to, trust that if this is something you've deposited in me, this is something you will assist me meet. Okay? I think that's all for this channel. Once again, thank you for visiting. Please subscribe, it's the red button at the bottom, and share with anyone that you know who may need encouragement. And also, please provide me with feedback if you think that we should do 3 to 5 minute snippets every day. And it can be about scriptures, it can be about quotes, it can be a joke, although I'm not going to be the one giving the joke. I'm open to it all. Okay? You all have a wonderful September 1st, and I would love to hear about any of the goals you all may have. I'll be sharing some of mine, and let's talk about it. Please comment below or go to any of my social medias, and we can have a full-blown out conversation, for real. That's my little hair flip with the little, I don't know why that's hanging out, but natural hair girls know this is wash day, but I'm out here trying to be faithful to my goals, and that's posting this video. Okay, I'm done. Bye, you guys.